So you've just loaded up a new survival world, and you've punched your first tree, found a cave, gone mining, and you've reached the point where you're about to build your first house, and you do so, but it looks like a piece of crap. Let's fix that. First, cover the build in TNT and explode it. Okay, maybe don't follow that route. Now most of your guys' houses probably look more like this than that, but still, there's loads to improve here. The first thing you'll want to do is make the pillars stick out one block, and also add beams like so between the top beam and the roof. Now the next step isn't essential, but using 2 floors usually provides a much better result at the end. And another thing you can do is add a beam splitting the build up. Since we're on the topic of shaping, make sure that these sections are an odd amount of blocks wide. On a scale like this, you'll probably want to make them 3 wide. I know not everyone might like how this looks, but something you could do is turn these sections into arches, utilizing stairs and trapdoors. Also, something that's absolutely essential is that you don't stick to a completely rectangular shape. With my build, I just decided to add a little extension coming out of the side. All of this works together to create a pretty nice result. Since we're working with a shape that isn't a rectangle, we'll need 2 segments for the roof, one facing the front and one facing sideways, and make sure to add a trim on the edge using a different block. Now I'm pretty much ripping this off Jericho, but adding some wool between the logs can create a pretty nice effect. One thing that I think is pretty much essential is adding a windowsill using a slab, and if you want, open fence gates on the windows. When building, always remember that the glass panes are simply better. They're cheaper and also add depth to the window, and there are only very few cases where full blocks are better. All of these things that you may think are pretty minor actually impact your build quite a lot. Some extra things you could do is add a stair on top of your door and extend the peaks of your roof like so. Now we're going to look at the chimney, and what I usually do is widen the base by a block and add a campfire with trapdoors surrounding it, and finally a flower pot on the top. To add a little bit of texture into your build, sprinkle in a similar block to your primary block. For example, strip logs and planks can look pretty clean. On the topic of texture, make sure your bottom floor consists of stone for some contrast. I use stone, cobblestone and tuff, but you can use deep slate or even basalt. And to add a little bit of depth, add trapdoors around the base of the logs and on the intersections. Finally, you'll want to blend your house into the landscape. Choose a nice location. I would usually build on a smaller hill, but honestly it's just down to preference. You'll want to add a spiraling path if you do build on a hill, and I added a little bit of stone to the side to make it appear as a cliff. You might want to add some vegetation, and something that's absolutely essential is custom trees. I'm honestly not great at building them, but honestly, anything is better than default. And to finish off, add some bushes and flowers, and just like that, we've transformed a basic and ugly house into something pretty decent. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.